Ma'am, you need to move. This seat is being given to a VIP. Lauren Pierce stood beside seat 1A, one hand resting on the headrest. Maya Bennett looked up at her. My boarding pass says 1A. Behind Lauren, Richard Vale waited in the aisle with an expensive briefcase in his hand. He was one of the airline's most profitable platinum passengers, and he wanted Maya's seat. You'll be moved to economy and compensated, Lauren said. Maya placed her boarding pass on the tray table. Has my reservation been changed? Lauren did not check the tablet. She did not open the manifest. She barely looked at the boarding pass. This is a crew decision. A few passengers turned toward them. Maya remained seated. Then show me the updated record. Lauren's expression hardened. Please don't make this difficult. Richard glanced at his watch. I was told this would be handled. Lauren nodded. It will be near the galley. A young flight attendant named Emily checked the cabin tablet. Seat 1A still showed. Maya Bennett confirmed boarded. Beside Maya's name was a restricted executive code. Lauren, Emily said carefully. The manifest hasn't changed. Lauren raised a hand. I'm handling it.
Maya watched Lauren silence her.
Then she asked one final question. Are you removing me from a confirmed first-class seat without checking the manifest? Lauren leaned closer. I don't need the manifest to know who should be sitting here. The cabin went quiet. Lauren believed Maya was an ordinary passenger she could pressure into giving up her seat. She had no idea Maya was traveling anonymously to inspect how the airline treated its customers. She had no idea the executive code beside Maya's name belonged to the woman who controlled the company. And she had no idea that every decision she made from that moment forward would become evidence against her. Maya could have revealed the truth immediately. She chose not to. She wanted to see how far Lauren would go. Lauren thought she was protecting a VIP. She was about to expose the entire airline. 20 minutes earlier, Maya Bennett boarded the aircraft alone. No assistant, no security detail. No expensive jewelry. She wore a plain dark coat and carried one small bag. That was intentional. For months, complaints had reached her office about passengers being questioned, downgraded, or threatened with removal despite holding valid tickets. Most reports ended the same way. Miscommunication. No misconduct found. Case closed. Maya wanted to see the truth herself. Only 3 executives knew the airline's majority owner was traveling on Flight 728. The captain and cabin crew had not been informed. Her reservation was made under her personal account. No special treatment, no warning, just an ordinary passenger with a confirmed ticket for seat 1A. At the aircraft door, Emily Carter scanned Maya's boarding pass. Welcome aboard. Miss Bennett, seat 1A is on your left. Thank you, Emily. Maya noticed the young attendant's name badge before taking her seat. The first-class cabin was quiet and polished, leather seats. Warm lighting, champagne already waiting. Maya placed her bag beneath the ottoman and began observing the crew. Emily treated every passenger with the same courtesy. Lauren Pierce did not. The senior flight attendant greeted familiar passengers by name, but barely acknowledged anyone she did not recognize. When Maya sat in 1A, Lauren looked at her clothes, then at the seat number. Did you verify her ticket? Lauren asked Emily near the galley. Yes, she has confirmed in 1A. Check again. Emily opened the cabin tablet. The record was clear. Maya Bennett, 1A, confirmed boarded. A restricted executive symbol appeared beside the name. Emily tapped it. Access was denied. There's an executive restriction on the profile, she said. Lauren glanced toward Maya. Probably a corporate booking. We should leave it alone until operations confirms. Lauren ignored the suggestion. A gate agent appeared at the door. Richard Vale just cleared security. He made the connection. Lauren's posture changed immediately. Mr. Vale is boarding? Yes, we assigned him 3D because his usual seat is occupied. Lauren looked toward seat 1A. Emily followed her gaze. His seat is still first class, Emily said. Lauren adjusted her scarf. He always sits in the first row. That doesn't change her reservation. Laura Tyne gave her a cold look. Good service means understanding which customers matter. Seconds later, Richard Vale entered the cabin. He looked at his boarding pass.
3D?
There was an equipment change, Lauren explained. Richard looked toward Maya's seat. I always sit in 1A. Lauren smiled. I'll handle it. Emily stepped closer. Lauren, the seat is confirmed and locked. Lauren lowered her voice. Prepare a downgrade voucher. She hasn't agreed to move. She will. From seat 1A, Maya heard every word. She could have called headquarters and ended the situation immediately. Instead, she placed her phone face down. An audit only revealed the truth when people believed no one powerful was watching. Lauren walked toward Maya with Richard behind her. She stopped beside seat 1A and placed one hand on the headrest. Ma'am, she said, you need to move. Why am I being moved? Maya asked. Lauren pointed toward the rear cabin. Mr. Vale requires this seat. We place you in economy and issue travel credit. My ticket is confirmed for 1A. We reaware then. This is into seating error. Richard shifted his briefcase impatiently. It's a 6-hour flight. I need the first row to work. Maya looked at him. Your assigned seat is 3D. I don't sit in row 3. That does make this seat yours. Several passengers turned toward them. Lauren placed a downgrade voucher on Maya's console. This is generous compensation. Maya, read the first line. Voluntary seat change. I'm not volunteering. It asks the standard form. Then the form is false. Emily stepped forward with the tablet. Lauren, the system still has Ms. Bennett in 1A. The seat is locked. Lauren did not look at the screen. Prepare economy for her. We can move her without authorization. Lauren turned sharply. I am the senior attendant and the manifest has not changed. Richard looked at Lauren. You said this was handled. It is being handled. Lauren faced Maya again. I am giving you a direct crew instruction. Based on safety, based on cabin management. Is the seat unsafe? No, did I violate a rule?
No, then you're removing me because he prefers my seat. Lauren lowered her voice.
Mr. Vale is an important customer. So am I. That's not what I meant. Maya held her gaze. It's exactly what you meant. The cabin went silent. A passenger across the aisle raised his phone. Lauren noticed. Sir, put that away. Why? He asked. Nothing private is happening. Lauren ignored him. Maya picked up the voucher. Write the real reason here. Lauren frowned. What? Write that you are downgrading a confirmed passenger because a platinum customer wants her seat. I will not use that language. Then I will not sign it. Richard exhaled. This is becoming unnecessary. Maya looked at him. You could end it by sitting in your assigned seat. He said nothing. Lauren took the voucher back. If you refuse to cooperate, you may be removed from the flight. Emily stared at her. Lauren, she hasn't done anything. She is refusing a crew instruction. She is asking us to follow the manifest. Lauren stepped toward Emily, returned to the galley. Emily did not move. Lauren's expression hardened. That was an instruction. Emily slowly stepped back, but kept the tablet in her hands. Maya placed her palms on the armrests, not to stand, to make it clear she would remain seated. Before you escalate this, she said, check the executive code beside my name. Lauren's eyes flickered. For 1 second, Maya thought she might reconsider. Then Richard spoke. Are we leaving on time or not? Lauren made her choice. She reached for the interphone. Cabin manager to first class. Maya remained calm. Lauren believed calling a superior would force her out of seat 1A. What she did not realize was that every new person she involved created another witness and another record. Lauren had turned a stolen seat into an official incident. Now she needed a lie strong enough to justify it. Cabin manager David Cole arrived from the rear galley. What is the problem? Lauren answered before Maya could speak. The passenger in 1A is refusing a seat reassignment and ignoring crew instructions. David looked at Maya. Mom, you need to cooperate so we can depart. Maya held out her boarding pass. Have you checked the manifest? David did not take it. Lauren is the senior attendant. That wasn't my question. Emily stepped forward. Mr. Cole. Mrs. Bennett is confirmed in 1A. The system rejected the reassignment. Lauren cut her off. She became disruptive when we offered another seat. Maya looked around the silent cabin. Ask anyone here whether I raised my voice. The passenger filming from across the aisle spoke. She didn't. Richard frowned. This delay is getting ridiculous. David finally took the tablet from Emily. Seat 1A still showed Maya's name, confirmed. Boarded seat locked. He noticed the executive restriction. What is this code? Emily answered. I don't know. I told Lauren we should contact operations. David looked at Lauren. Did you call them? There wasn't time. The door is still open, Maya said. Lauren's face tightened. David handed the tablet back without opening the restricted profile. Regardless of the seating record, refusing a crew instruction can become a security issue. Maya looked directly at him. So you are removing me without identifying any rule I violated? You are delaying departure. I was seated before Mr. Vale boarded. David glanced at Richard, then at Lauren. He understood what had happened, but admitting it would mean confronting the senior attendant in front of the entire cabin. Instead, he reached for the interphone gate security to the aircraft. Emily stared at him. You're calling security on the confirmed passenger?
David lowered his voice. I'm preventing further disruption.
Maya took out her phone and placed it on the tray table. Then document the reason accurately. Lauren opened the incident report. She typed, passenger refused required seat change and became confrontational. Maya read the words from where she sat. I never became confrontational. Lauren continued typing. Your refusal is delaying the flight. Write that the seat was being given to Mr. Vale. That is not relevant. It is the entire reason this happened. Lauren pressed submit. The report entered the Airline central system. Emily looked at the confirmation message. The dispute was no longer just a conversation inside the cabin. It now had a timestamp, a crew statement, and a false accusation attached to Maya's name. 2 security officers appeared at the aircraft door. Lauren pointed toward seat 1A. That's the passenger. Maya remained seated. She looked at Lauren, then at David. You both had the manifest in your hands, neither answered. Maya nodded once. Good. Then the record will show that this was a choice. One of the officers stepped into the aisle. Ma'am, we need to speak with you outside. Maya looked at his body camera. Is it recording? Yes. Then before you remove me, ask them who is legally assigned to this seat. The officer turned toward Lauren. Lauren opened her mouth, but Emily answered first. Maya Bennett. Seat 1A confirmed. The officer looked at the tablet, then at the false incident report still visible on its screen. For the first time, Lauren stopped looking certain. Security had come to remove Maya, but the body camera was about to record who had actually broken the rules. The lead security officer looked at the tablet. Who is assigned to seat 1A? Emily answered immediately. Maya Bennett. Lauren stepped between them. The issue is not the seat. She refused a crew instruction. The officer looked at Maya. What instruction? To move to economy.
Why? Lauren hesitated. Operational reasons. Maya pointed toward Richard. He wanted my seat.
Richard looked away. The officer checked the screen again. Maya's record still read. 1A confirmed boarded. There was no reassignment, no safety notice, no authorization to downgrade her. The officer turned to David. Did she threaten anyone? No. Did she interfere with the crew? She refused to move that S-not. What? I asked. David fell silent. Lauren crossed her arms. We decide who remains on the aircraft. Not without a reason, the officer said. Maya looked at his body camera. Please record that the crew cannot identify any violation. Lauren S. face tightened. She became confrontational. The passenger across the aisle raised his phone. I recorded the whole thing. She never raised her voice. Another passenger nodded. Lauren offered her seat to that man before speaking to her. Richard stepped forward. I didn't ask anyone to break a rule. Maya looked at him. You watched her try. He said nothing. The security officer handed the tablet to Emily. Contact operations. I want confirmation before anyone leaves this aircraft. Lauren shook her head. We were already delayed. You called security, he replied. Now we verify the report. Emily opened the operations channel. Lauren reached for the tablet. I'll make the call. Emily pulled it back. You already filed the report. The word stopped Lauren. Emily attached 3 items. Maya S. confirmed boarding record. The rejected seat change request. Lauren S. incident report. Then she added 1 sentence. Passenger remains calm. Manifest confirmed. Seat 1A. Crew request removal without documented violation. She pressed send. Lauren stared at her. You just went outside the chain of command. I followed the manifest. Seconds passed, then the tablet chimed. A red notification appeared. Departure hold, do not close cabin door. David stepped closer. What triggered that? Emily opened the message. Executive passenger profile detected, operations authorization required. Lauren's confidence faded. The security officer looked at her. You said the code wasn't important. I said it was probably a corporate account. Maya remained seated. Probably? No one answered. Another message arrived. Airport director en route. Maintain current seating. Preserve all records. David looked toward the open aircraft door. Why is the airport director coming? Emily tapped Maya's restricted profile again. This time, the system requested senior authorization instead of denying access. A title appeared beneath Maya's name, but most of it remained hidden. Chair Bennett Aviation. Emily stopped breathing for a moment. Lauren leaned toward the screen. What does that say? Before Emily could answer, a man in a dark airport suit appeared at the aircraft door. The security officers recognized him immediately and stepped aside. He looked past Lauren. Past David and directly towards seat 1A, Miss Bennett, he said. I'm sorry this was allowed to happen. The cabin went silent. Lauren slowly turned toward Maya for the first time. She understood that the woman she had tried to remove was not waiting for help. Help had been waiting for her authorization. The manifest had stopped the removal. The airport director was about to reveal why Maya's name could stop the entire flight. The airport director stepped into the cabin. His name was Daniel Brooks. He stopped beside seat 1A, Mrs. Bennett. Operations has placed the flight on hold. Lauren looked from Daniel to Maya. Who is she? Daniel took the tablet from Emily and opened the authorized profile. The full record appeared. Maya Bennett, chair and majority owner, Bennett Aviation Holdings. Bennett Aviation owned the airline. The cabin went silent. Richard slowly removed his briefcase from the overhead compartment above Maya's seat. Lauren stared at the screen. There must be some mistake. Daniel looked at her. There is no mistake. He turned the tablet so David and the security officers could see it. Mrs. Bennett owns the controlling interest in this company. Lauren S. face lost its color. I didn't know. Maya looked at her. You didn't need to know who I was. Lauren opened her mouth, but Maya continued. You only needed to know that I had a confirmed ticket. No one spoke. Maya turned to Daniel. Was seat 1A ever reassigned? No. Was there any safety reason to move me? No. Did operations authorize a downgrade?
No.
Daniel scrolled through the record. The system rejected the request twice. Maya looked at Lauren. And after that, Emily answered quietly. She filed an incident report saying you became confrontational. Daniel opened the report. The passenger across the aisle raised his phone. I recorded everything. The security officer tapped his body camera. So did we. Lauren glanced toward David. He avoided her eyes. Maya stood for the first time. She remained beside her seat, calm, controlled. This flight was part of an unannounced service audit, she said. Lauren looked at her. You were testing us? I was observing you. Maya pointed toward the tablet. You saw a confirmed reservation. Then toward Emily. She asked you to verify it. Then toward the security officers. You called them anyway.
Lauren's voice shook. I was trying to protect an important customer. Maya looked at Richard. Mr. Vale had a confirmed first-class seat in 3D. Daniel nodded.
That is correct.
Maya turned back to Lauren.
So no customer needed protection. Lauren tried again. He is one of our highest value passengers, and that gave you the right to take someone else's seat? Lauren said nothing. Maya looked at David. You saw the manifest. David lowered his head. Yes, you saw the seat was locked. Yes, and you still approved security removal. I trusted the senior attendant's judgment. Maya's expression did not change. Authority does not remove your duty to verify facts. Daniel received another message on the tablet. Corporate compliance has preserved the manifest, the rejected seat change requests, and the incident report. Lauren looked toward the aircraft door. Miss Bennett, I can explain you already did. Maya pointed to the false report. You explained it in writing. Richard stepped forward. I never asked her to remove anyone. Maya faced him. You said you always sit in 1A. That was a preference, and when she tried to force me out, you stayed silent. Richard looked away. Maya turned to Daniel. Keep the aircraft at the gate. Lauren took a step forward. Please don't delay everyone because of this. Maya looked around the cabin. This flight is delayed because crew members attempted to remove a confirmed passenger and then created a false report to justify it. She looked back at Lauren. Not because the passenger refused to disappear quietly. Daniel nodded. Compliance is sending replacement crew. Lauren froze. Replacement crew? Maya's answer was brief. You will not work this flight.
David looked up. Am I being removed too?
You ignored the manifest and approved security action without identifying a violation.
Maya looked at both of them.
You will leave the aircraft pending investigation. Emily remained near the galley, holding the tablet. Maya turned toward her. You did exactly what procedure required.
Emily swallowed.
I was afraid I'd lose my job. You protected a passenger when your supervisors would not. Maya looked toward the open cabin door. Daniel, preserve every recording and remove the false report from my passenger profile. Do not delete it. Mark it as evidence. Daniel nodded. Understood. Lauren slowly reached for the badge on her uniform. For the first time, she understood the real consequence of ignoring the manifest. It had not only revealed Maya's seat, it had revealed every decision Lauren made after learning the truth. The owner's identity had been confirmed. Now the crew who tried to remove her would be removed instead. Daniel turned toward Lauren and David. Please surrender your badges. Lauren touched the badge pinned to her uniform. Right now, you are both suspended from duty pending investigation. David removed his badge first. Lauren did not move. I made a judgment call. Maya looked at her. You ignored the manifest, attempted an unauthorized downgrade called security, and filed a false report. I was trying to avoid a complaint from Mr. Vale. You created a larger one from the person whose rights you took away. Lauren slowly unpinned her badge. The cabin watched in silence. Daniel held out his hand. She placed it in his palm. 2 operations supervisors entered the aircraft with a replacement cabin manager and another senior attendant. Lauren looked toward Emily. You caused this. Emily's face tightened, but Maya answered first. No. She documented it. Lauren had no response. Daniel escorted Lauren and David toward the door. As they passed first class, the passenger across the aisle kept his phone raised. Lauren lowered her eyes. The same aisle she had used to humiliate Maya now became the path of her own removal. Richard stepped aside to let them pass. Then he turned toward Maya. I assume I should take 3D. Maya looked at him. That was your assigned seat from the beginning. He reached for his briefcase.
Daniel stopped him. Mr. Vale, operations has reviewed the recording. Richard frowned. What does that have to do with me?
You encouraged an unauthorized seat removal and remained silent while a false security report was filed. I didn't file anything.
No, Maya said.
You only benefited from it.
Richard's expression hardened.
I am a Platinum Crown member. Maya held his gaze. That status does not place you above another passenger's ticket. Daniel checked the tablet. Your loyalty privileges are temporarily suspended pending review. Richard stared at him. You can do that, Maya answered calmly. He just did. Richard looked around the cabin. No one defended him. The replacement cabin manager pointed towards seat 3D. You may take your assigned seat or you may leave the aircraft. For the first time since boarding, Richard had no special option. He picked up his briefcase and walked toward row 3. Emily remained near the galley. Maya looked at her. Are you comfortable continuing the flight? Emily nodded. Yes, Ma am. Then stay. The replacement crew checked every first-class boarding record again. No one was moved. No seat was reassigned. Daniel spoke quietly with the captain, then returned to Maya. The false incident report has been locked as evidence. Security footage, body camera video, and passenger recordings are being preserved.
Good. Would you like the flight canceled?
Maya looked around the cabin. Dozens of passengers had already lost time because Lauren refused to follow a basic record. No. Replace the crew, correct the report, and let these people continue their journey.
Daniel nodded. Before leaving, he stopped beside Emily. Operations will need your statement. Emily looked nervous. Maya spoke before she could answer. She will give it with legal protection against retaliation.
Daniel understood. I'll make sure of it. The new cabin manager closed the aircraft door. Minutes later, the captain activated the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, this flight was delayed because a confirmed passenger's seating rights were not properly respected. The responsible crew members have been removed, and the matter is under formal investigation. We apologize to Mrs. Bennett and to everyone affected. No one applauded. The cabin was too quiet for that. Maya sat back down in seat 1A. The seat had never been the true prize. The record was, Lauren had believed authority meant passengers had to obey her, but authority without truth had removed her from the aircraft before it ever left the gate. The flight could finally depart, but the investigation waiting at headquarters would reach far beyond seat 1A. By the time Flight 728 landed, every piece of evidence had reached headquarters. The passenger manifest, Lauren S. rejected seat change requests, her false incident report, the security officer's body camera footage, and 3 passenger videos showing Maya seated calmly while Lauren threatened to remove her. The next morning, Maya entered the boardroom with Daniel and the head of corporate compliance. Lauren and David sat across the table with union representatives beside them. Maya did not discuss her ownership. She began with the record. Who was assigned to seat 1A? The compliance director answered. Maya Bennett. Was that assignment ever changed? No. Was there a safety reason to move the passenger? No. Did Lauren Pierce request authorization from operations? No. The system rejected 2 attempts and she continued without approval. The footage played on the boardroom screen. Lauren S.'s voice filled the room. I don't need the manifest to know who should be sitting here. No one spoke after the clip ended. Lauren leaned forward. I chose the wrong words. Maya looked at her. The problem was not your wording. It was your decision. The next video showed Lauren placing the voluntary downgrade form beside Maya. The compliance director opened the electronic record. She prepared this document after Ms. Bennett had already refused to move. Maya turned to Lauren. You attempted to record an involuntary downgrade as voluntary. I thought she would eventually agree. You wrote the outcome before receiving her consent. Lauren looked down. David tried to separate himself from the decision. I arrived after the dispute had started. I relied on the senior attendant's report. The body camera footage played next. David could be seen holding the tablet while Maya's confirmed seat and executive restriction remained visible. Maya paused the recording. You had the manifest in your hands. David said nothing. You saw there was no safety violation. Yes, and you still called security. I wanted to prevent a delay. You risked removing an innocent passenger to avoid admitting the crew was wrong. The compliance director placed another file on the screen. It contained 6 previous complaints involving Lauren. 2 passengers had been pressured to leave premium seats. 1 black couple had been separated so a corporate customer could sit beside his assistant. Another passenger had been labeled aggressive after asking the crew to verify his ticket. Every complaint had been closed without video review. Maya looked toward the regional service manager seated near the end of the table. Why were these cases dismissed? The manager shifted in his chair. Lauren had strong satisfaction scores from high-value customers and complaints from everyone else. We considered her operational judgment. Maya closed the file. You considered revenue more credible than passengers. No one challenged her. Lauren's behavior had not survived because the company lacked warnings. It had survived because the wrong customers were complaining. Maya issued the decisions. Lauren's employment would be terminated for falsifying a report, attempting an unauthorized downgrade, and misusing safety authority. David would lose his cabin management position and undergo a formal disciplinary review. The regional service manager would be suspended while compliance investigated the 6 closed complaints. Richard Vale's platinum privileges would remain frozen until the loyalty department completed its review. Then Maya approved 4 immediate policy changes. No boarded passenger could be involuntarily downgraded without operations authorization. Every removal request had to identify a specific safety or conduct violation. Cabin managers were required to verify the manifest before contacting security, and discrimination complaints could no longer be closed by the same department named in the complaint. Lauren looked at Maya. Was there ever anything I could have done to keep my job? Maya answered, without hesitation. Yes, Lauren waited. You could have checked the manifest. The meeting ended. But before Maya left, the compliance director stopped her. There is one more employee involved. Maya knew who she meant. Emily Carter had challenged 2 supervisors, protected the record, and told the truth while her job was at risk. Bring her in, Maya said. This investigation would not end by punishing the people who failed. It would end by protecting the one person who did not. Emily entered headquarters expecting disciplinary action. Maya had called her there for a very different reason. Emily entered the boardroom expecting a disciplinary hearing. She still wore her uniform, but her hands were locked tightly around a folder containing her written statement. Maya sat at the head of the table. Please sit down, Emily. Emily took the nearest chair. If this is about contacting operations without Lorna's permission, I understand I broke the chain of command. Maya shook her head. You followed procedure after your supervisors abandoned it. Emily looked up. I thought I was going to lose my job. You nearly did, Maya said. Not because you were wrong. Because the people above you wanted silence. Daniel placed the cabin tablet on the table. Its screen showed the message Emily had sent during the confrontation. Passenger remains calm. Manifest confirmed seat 1A. Crew requests removal without documented violation. Maya pointed to it. This message stopped security from removing an innocent passenger. I only reported what I saw. That is exactly what your supervisors refused to do. Emily lowered her eyes. I should have acted sooner. You challenged the senior attendant. You warned the cabin manager. You protected the manifest and preserved the evidence. Maya paused. Courage is not acting without fear. It is acting while knowing the fear is justified. The compliance director slid a document across the table. Emily read the first line. Promotion. Cabin Ethics and Service Training Coordinator. She looked at Maya in disbelief. You re-promoting me? You will continue flying, Maya said, but you will also train crews to recognize when authority is being misused. Emily stared at the document. I've only worked here 4 months, and in 4 months you understood something 2 experienced supervisors had forgotten. Maya leaned forward. A uniform gives you responsibility. It does not give you permission to ignore the truth. Emily signed the document. Maya then handed her a second letter. It guaranteed protection from retaliation and placed her testimony directly under corporate compliance. No manager involved in this investigation will control your schedule, evaluation, or promotion, Maya said. Emily's shoulders finally relaxed. Thank you. Maya shook her head. You earned it. Before Emily left, she stopped near the door. Miss Bennett, may I ask you something? Of course. Why didn't you reveal who you were when Lauren first approached you? Maya looked toward the frozen image of seat 1A on the boardroom screen. Because the moment people know you have power, they show you respect. She turned back to Emily. I needed to know who would show respect when they believed I had none. Emily nodded. She understood now. The audit had not only exposed Lauren, it had revealed who inside the system still deserved trust. 3 weeks later, Emily stood before a room of newly hired flight attendants. Behind her, the first slide displayed one sentence. The manifest is a record of rights, not a list of who matters most. Emily looked across the room. Before you judge a passenger, she said, check the facts. Before you follow a harmful instruction, check the procedure. And when someone tells you to ignore both, put it in writing. At headquarters, Maya watched the training through a live feed. Lauren's failure had created a scandal. Emily's courage was beginning to create change. The seat had been returned and the truth had been recorded. But Maya still had one final message for every employee in the airline. 1 month after Flight 728, every employee received a video message from Maya. She stood inside an empty first-class cabin. Seat 1A was visible behind her. What happened on Flight 728 was not caused by one difficult passenger or one bad conversation. She began. It happened because status was valued more than truth. The screen changed to show the new crew policy. A confirmed passenger could no longer be downgraded to satisfy a VIP request. Security could not be called without a documented violation. Any employee could contact compliance if a supervisor ordered them to ignore the manifest. Maya faced the camera again. Customer status may determine benefits. It never determines whose rights matter. Across the airline, crews watched in briefing rooms and airport offices. Some employees recognized Lauren's behavior. Others recognized their own silence. Maya continued. The passenger in seat 1A happened to own the airline, but that should not have mattered. She paused. The decision was wrong before anyone knew my name. That sentence became the foundation of the new training program. Over the following months, unresolved passenger complaints were reopened. Several travelers received formal apologies. 2 managers were disciplined for dismissing reports without reviewing the evidence. The airline also created a direct channel for crew members like Emily to report misconduct without asking permission from the supervisor involved. Complaints began to fall, not because employees feared humiliating an owner, because they finally understood that every passenger's reservation carried the same authority. Weeks later, Maya boarded another flight without warning the crew. She wore the same plain coat and carried the same small bag. At the door, a newly trained attendant scanned her boarding pass. Welcome aboard, Mrs. Bennett. You are in seat 4C. There was no executive alert on the screen. No one recognized her. When another passenger asked to take Maya's seat, the attendant checked both boarding passes and answered politely. I am sorry, but seat 4C is confirmed for Ms. Bennett. I can help you find another option. No argument, no judgment, no special treatment. Just the correct decision. Maya took her seat and looked out the window. That was the change she had wanted. Not employees who respected her because she owned the company. Employees who respected people before knowing who they were. Because real first class was never about leather seats. Loyalty status or the name printed on a corporate profile. It was about dignity. And dignity did not belong only to VIPs. Do you think Lauren deserved to lose her job? Or should she have received another chance? And what would you have done if a flight attendant tried to give your confirmed seat to someone considered more important? Months later, Maya received a letter from one of the passengers on Flight 728. The man had recorded Lauren trying to remove her from seat 1A. He wrote that the moment stayed with him, not because Maya owned the airline, but because everyone had watched her rights become negotiable the moment a richer passenger entered the cabin. Maya placed the letter beside the original manifest. Lauren's report was still preserved in the investigation file, so was Emily's message. 2 employees had looked at the same record. One tried to hide it, the other protected it. That difference had changed the airline. Emily's training program was now mandatory across every route. Complaints were reviewed by an independent team. And every attempted downgrade required written authorization. But Maya knew policies alone could not create dignity. People had to choose it. Flight 728 became a lesson taught to every new crew member. The woman in seat 1A should never have needed to own the airline to be treated fairly. Her boarding pass was enough. Her calm voice was enough. Her dignity was enough. Lauren believed first class belonged to the most powerful person in the cabin. She was wrong. A premium seat could be purchased. Respect could not. And the true test of authority was not how someone treated a known VIP. It was how they treated a person they believed had no power at all. Maya did not change the airline by revealing who she was. She changed it by proving that who she was should never have mattered. What would you have done if a flight attendant tried to give your confirmed first-class seat to a VIP? Should Lauren have been fired for falsifying the report, or should she have received one final chance? Share your answer in the comments, and remember Maya owned the airline, but her boarding pass should have been enough. The aircraft lifted into the night sky. Maya sat quietly beside the window, the lights of the city disappearing beneath the clouds. Seat 1A had been returned. The false report had been exposed. And the people responsible had faced the consequences of their own decisions. But the most important lesson remained simple. Maya should never have needed to reveal that she owned the airline. Her confirmed boarding pass should have been enough. Because true character is revealed by how we treat people before we know their status. And real authority is not the power to remove someone from a seat. It is the courage to protect what is right.